And I did not like that. All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming today this evening with a short message, and it's not going to be long. I want to cover something that I realized that there was a situation where I knew what I always knew, and had not the individual respond, then I would not have known 99, 100%. But when the individual said something, the spirit say, see, this is how cunning people are. And I think about that, how it has been spoken to us in time past about a day as this, and yet we walk around and act like the light is on the four corners, and it's not. I realize that individuals are so much like I said. You can tell, and it's best not to say anything than to say something, because it really identifies who you are. Even if your words are innocent, it still shows who you are when you know that you're being revealed to yourself, because no one else might know, but you know already. So Sister Deborah wants you to understand that the Most High, Yah, don't want us to be ignorant of the vices of the darkness and the wicked that sits wait among you. The pride is so heavy, you guys. The ego, the self-centered, and the greed heart is so heavy. I can feel it through this here laptop. That's why I can speak on it. Believe me, it wouldn't be something I wouldn't speak on if I could not feel that thing. See, that's what's wrong with people. They can't feel the word of Yah, because they get in too detached to their flesh, to where when the spirit is trying to teach us, which is the Ruach trying to teach us how to try the spirit by the spirit. He wants us to know, I want you to know how to do that. It is not something that the Creator don't want us to know how to do. He wants us to know how to practice using the tools, the device that He has given us for the journey in which He has sent us on. I remember hearing something about Yeshua sending hens out. And we're going to cover that, because you can be talking about a wicked one, and they will sit right there. Anyway, in the highest level of their wickedness. A lot of times, these are people who have issues with mercy, compassion. They have no heart to feel no one outside of themselves. They so used to making sure they are full. If they the type of people, if they saw someone, a lady on the street, and she got 3 babies sitting there, and they need something to help, need something to just say drink. We even say eat. Just say drink. This individual is the type that'll walk past and say, you get a job. I ain't giving you nothing. I've seen that spirit on this individual. And it's a high spirit. And you can't do nothing with it. You can't do nothing with it. It'll come on this platform and act as if it is invisible. And I act that way with it. But I know who I know, what I'm dealing with. And when the Spirit said, look, see that wicked? That wicked will even respond because that's how much pride. The pride level is from the foot all the way to the head in them. And we're going to talk about that because I'm going to show you how everything I'm saying is so 100. You remember when Yeshua was having the Last Supper? And he began to tell his disciples about the betrayer that was at the table. You notice those that were innocent, they still felt guilty. They felt that the Most High, not the Most High, Yeshua was calling them out. Yeshua broke it down to them and they still felt guilty because they thought that it was them that he was speaking. So they began to ask him, is it me? Is it me? They were hurting, you guys. These individuals were hurting because they thought that what Yeshua was saying at that table, that he was saying it about them. He wasn't. But he wasn't concerned about them feeling that way. Yeshua didn't have no problem with them feeling that way because he set the tables. How would he say? He set everything straight right then and there. He told them, the one that sits next to me, that dip in the sop, I think that's what it's called, at the same time, is he. But why didn't the other disciples really grip it? They didn't. Because heavens didn't want them to really grip it, even though Yeshua called them out. You will never get a pastor, a bishop, or a priest break that thing down. That's how real light can be when spirit and truth is spoken. Not now time did they observe that Yeshua was calling them out. He was calling out the betrayer that was right at the table, sitting right next to him, dipping his hand in the same bowl as Yeshua. Look how close he was. Betrayer, just that close to the Yeshua. Dipping his hand in the same sop. I, Sister Deborah, come to you to inform you throughout the time I've been on here. I do know what I see. And I know you see things in the natural, but I see things in both ends. The reason why y'all allow me to see it on both spiritual and natural, because Sister Deborah, just like you, we are in a time like no other. You're going to need all the help you're going to need. You're going to get from the Most High Yah. So in this case, he's going to allow me to see exactly what I'm dealing with in the flesh while speaking and teaching in the spirit. I keep saying, in hope that individual will take up their coat, put it on, put the hat on, and get on out of here. Because it's a spirit. As I said before, it means no good. Why would you say that, Deborah? The heart is too hard. The heart is too hard. Too much pride, ego, self-centered, greed to make a difference in anything. So as he sat at that table, Yeshua could have denied him the seat. Woo! He could have denied Judas, I think that's Judas, the seat next to him. He could have denied that wicked one to put his hand in the same sock that he had his hand in, eating from the same bowl. He could have denied him. See, that's what people don't understand. Just because you're on this devil platform and participating into this Sister Deborah's page with Spirit and Truth don't mean you who you think you trying to play that you are. If I tried you, and I've tried you almost a year and a half now by the fire, I already know who you are. Okay? And I don't like your spirit. I really don't. Do I let you continue? Yes, without chewing you out. And hope that you put your coat on in your hat and get your butt on out of here. Okay? Don't say no words, because those words don't mean anything. It tells off who you are. That's what it does. It shows the cunning that's in you and the intent to continue to sit at the table and sup and eat from the same bowl. There are people here for Spirit and Truth. There are many people will say that the Father sent them to this page. I, Sister Deborah, know who you are and know who they are that he have sent. It's no way he's going to let me say the things that I say and you get what I'm saying and you still reside. Your heart is too hardened to be on this page with Sister Deborah. Yeah, you've been here a while. It's time to get up and get on out. Get your coat on, put your hat on, and swoop the coop. You don't have to say no fake words to cover up you. I already know who you are. And I don't like it at all. I do not like it at all. Because not only did he show me and let me know, he got on me about not trying the Spirit by the Spirit. I don't know where people get off coming to this page thinking that Sister Deborah is just like them other churches and them mega churches and them people who making billions and stealing and lying to you at the same time. You got me bent up and bent down. And you always had. Because you wanted the special seat at the table. And when you didn't get that special seat, you decided, hey, you'll pay hardball. But baby, I got your number. I had your number. You just too ignorant to know that. Okay? So I wanted to say that. Let me tell you why. When you think about Yeshua, you see how Yeshua could have at any time removed the betrayer. But why is it? Why can you tell me why is it that Yeshua could not remove the betrayer? Because it was a part of, oh, that's my phone. It's a part of the wickedness, a part of the plan. Just as, what's his name? Satan thought that he took the life of the Messiah. He didn't understand. Messiah laid his life down. He didn't take nothing. You see the ignorance in darkness? The ignorance will sit among you 3-4 years, feeling nothing in them, so numb. But this person been like this all their life. Their heart has always been like that. They've been like this. And they come on here thinking somebody don't know who they are. Yeah, Sister Deborah gonna tell it. Because as I see exactly what's going on, and then the individual try to say something to kind of throw you off. I already know who you are. Okay? So here, I want y'all to really focus on the fact that why didn't Yeshua remove the betrayer? Why was the betrayer allowed to sit next to him? Why was the betrayer allowed to dip his hands in the same? Oh, come on, tell it. Just because you sit up on here and been on here for a while, I spoke many messages to get you off because your spirit, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And you keep coming back with that same self-spirit. It's best you just say nothing than to say anything. They're thinking you throwing somebody off. You ain't throwing nobody off but yourself. Because I already got your number. I had your number. Okay? So what I'm saying is, It was a part of the mission from the kingdom that the demons sit on the side. Ooh, Deborah, go on, girl, with Yeshua. Dipped his hand. Yeshua wiped his feet. You see, all of this. See, don't y'all ever think because somebody's sitting on your left, somebody sitting on your right, they with you. They can be more against you than with you for the rest of your living. That's why he gives us the ability to try the spirit by the spirit. And he gives us the ability to use the tools he instilled in us to try these entities. But a lot of us be so holy than thou and wants to just be in the midst of Yah and just wants to run Yah and know him so well for where we forget what is our surroundings. Yeshua knew his surrounding. He told see, what y'all didn't pay attention to is Yeshua was speaking to his disciples. He wasn't speaking to the betrayer. He was speaking to the disciples. And even the disciples felt bad because they thought he was talking about them. Isn't that beautiful? It wasn't even them, but they felt guilty. Even when he told them who it was. The one that was next to him still sit there and continue as if it was nothing. Identical the way this individual come to this page. As if nothing is, I don't like that heart. I don't like it. But it ain't nothing I can do about it. Because this devil platform is for all the devils that can come on here as well. You see? But I want to say to you all, the Spirit was telling me, Deborah, you have to accept that the day that you in is a critical time than any day that I have created. Know that it's just that potent and evil and wicked. Why? Because a person that's an empath believes in people. And I think that's why I keep accepting it. Because I believe that people can change and people can turn this way. But did you think that Yeshua sat at that table with the betrayer, think that he can change? No. He knew he wouldn't change. He knew he couldn't change. It didn't stop him from washing his feet. It didn't stop him from sending them out by twos. Judas, the betrayer, he received everything that all the other disciples received. Even though the Father had assigned him in the book to the lake of hell. He was assigned, he was written to come down to betray the Messiah. Why is it people can't preach that time? That is an awesome sermon. To tell the people, everybody on your left and on your right ain't who you think they are. And because they come to your page, you thinking we all in this little basket together. We listen to Sister Deborah. She's speaking spirit and truth in the light, but you have no idea who's in the midst of us. You have no idea. They can sound so righteous, so true. Look at Judas. He signed him with the tools to lay hands on the sick. But yet he still had a mission for eternal darkness. Fire, really. But yet we don't get it down here. That the way Yah has orchestrated, just because he allowed you to sit in the midst of Deborah, to continue your heart don't mean you anywhere. Stop saying Yah sent you here. Yah don't send you to this page to not support Sister Deborah after being here for year after year after year. No. He wouldn't dare allow me to even speak it just for you to sit there. He already know the heart and heart. Look at Judas. He saw all the miracles in Judas. He saw all the miracle and signs that the Messiah did. Everything he taught, how he fed the multitude. You see, no matter what Yeshua did, this demon on the side, you couldn't change him. Do y'all see what I'm saying? This is how potent it is. You cannot change people. No matter how your mission is the mission of Yah. Because Yeshua son, not sure, the Father sent Yeshua down for a mission, right? He gave him all the tools that he needed because he came down, asked us to be loved, the only begotten as Christ, right? But guess what? Yeshua said, all that I have, all that thou hast given me, I have not lost one. He's telling the Father, I ain't lost not one that you have given me. Guess what? He's 100. He's 100. Because this one that was betraying him had a mission. It's the eternal lake of fire mission, but he was given to him as one of the 12, y'all. So this is why I say I'm gonna give the benefit of that, not the benefit of that. I'm gonna tell the individual, swoop the coop. I already know who you are. I don't like the spirit behind it. I don't. But I will say to you, they continue to come speaking that the Father sent them there. Just as Judas can actually say, Yeshua, the Father in the kingdom sent me here. Did not he? Did not the Father give Yeshua 12? So what did he do? He sent them there, all right. But just because you in the midst don't mean you the righteous one, or you are the chosen, or you are the light, or you are the spirit and truth. I think about every day I get up and go out, the power of the spirit of Yah in me, and when I say something. And I say, but Father, you saved it for a day, and a day is this, the worst day that ever exists on the face of the earth. So you see, it ain't about you getting it. It ain't about you coming in the midst, saying the Father sent you here. The Father is not going to send you here and never support the one he sent you to listen to. Y'all's a bunch of liars. A bunch of liars. And you don't think about it, don't know about it. I'm calling you out. It does something to me in the flesh to think that the flesh really think they that cunning. To think they pulling something over on somebody. You ain't pulling nothing over nobody. This old hen know who you are. The wool have been poured over your eyes because you don't know who you are. And the Father sent that betrayer to do everything side by side by Yeshua. See, somebody need to preach that. That's a sermon there in itself. That's a whole week sermon. It's to wake up a household. It's to wake up a workplace. It's a wake up call for the community, the neighborhood, a family, your extended family, your friends. That's a wake up call. It don't matter who is around you. Just like in the family. He said, I come to bring the sword to separate the two seeds. I ain't come to bring peace in it. I like that. Deborah, I'm come to bring division. Tell them about that. See, nobody want to take to that. You notice no one wants to take a hold of that. No one wants to take a hold of the fact that he's telling you, I ain't coming down here to bring peace. I ain't coming down but to bring a division, causing somebody to be against one another. And this whole world don't know nothing about it and don't care. You know why? You got almost probably more than 90% of the people going through the broad gate today. And they going with their hat on and their hat off. They going not only walking, they running. That's how bad it is, y'all. From the level of the wilderness in which I am taught by the Ruach. That's how bad it is. And they running with a happy face. They running with joy to the broad gate. Happiness, content, greed, self-centered, pride, everything that's against the Father, they run into the broad gate with. So I wanted to say to you all, it's best to go, because this prophet is telling you that time is up. You've been following Sister Deborah so long to the point you think you can sit in the mist with your dark mindset, claiming that the Father sent you here to just sit there. You's a liar from the pit of hell. Even Judas, what his name? Judas, he said, as long as y'all had him assigned, the Father had him assigned to the day he betrayed Yeshua for that purpose from the kingdom, and to the day he hung himself. How about that? How about that? You see what I'm saying? So you think you really stepping on somebody flesh and blood like you are, because you think like your flesh and blood, so you know you the spirit that come down here in the flesh. But what happens is you turn around and you think so long, I've been getting away with it. I've been doing it. I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna do nothing. Good. Swoop the coup. People will sit in battle and say they cannot support for all the reason that's in their lying mouth. And I'm going to tell them, lying mouth, because you got a lying spirit. But you turn around and tell the world that this is who God drew me to. You drew yourself, and you in the midst with the wrong heart, the wrong spirit. Let's get to Matthew chapter 10. In the book of Matthew chapter 10, that whole thing, that's a good sermon for someone who's preaching back those messages to pull them up out of the study guide. That's a good lesson. And it's a good lesson, even, say, for instance, early teenagers, say in the 7th and 8th grade, that would be a wonderful Sunday school lesson for 7th and 8th graders. You know why? It'll help them understand the type of world they're living in and what type of living they're in and going into this world. You see, they don't have to be of the world, just going into the world. No. That you're going to have enemies around you on every side sometimes. Pray to the Father to give you that discerning spirit and help you to practice trying the spirit by the spirit, because that's what he gives you when he come live in you. He teaches you to use that. Now listen to what's in Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. It says, and here is Yeshua talking to the disciples. Verse 16, behold mean look. And a lot of times you all don't understand the power that rests in the word behold, because it's actually telling you, stop playing. Look, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of who? Wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as a dove. Don't think that the Father ain't sent his down and not want them to be as wise as those who think they pulling the wool over somebody's head. He said here in verse 16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as dove. Let's go over verse 17. But be aware, men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scorn you in their synagogue. All because light tends to get around darkness and lose themselves. So he's just warning them. Don't trust them. Don't trust their words. Don't trust their presence. Call that what it is out. You see? He's actually telling them, when you get out here, know that they are out here. Do you think he's saying it to everybody except for Sister Deborah on this devil platform? He's speaking to me as well. He's speaking to you, who he has trust with his Holy Spirit, to not lose focus. Be wise as the serpent. See, you see how he didn't degrade the fact that the serpents are not wise? He said they wise. He's just telling you, be as wise as they are. See, they wise in darkness. He's telling you to be wise in the light. But what is happening? What has always happened? Those that's in the light tend to cling to those that's in the darkness, and then they find their way mingling with those in the darkness. In the darkness think they got them because they sitting in the midst of the light. You all don't have no idea what Sister Deborah's telling you. You know why? That's how far gone your flesh mind is. Because what happened to only reason why the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. Because when Yah created in him everything, he saw that, wait, I need to get out here. Let me get over here. Let me slaughter a lamb. You know why? Before he even created the heaven and the earth, he saw it already. That those that he'd seen as light was going to detach themselves to darkness. So let me take this ram I got in the bush called the lamb slaughtered. Slaughtered lamb, I'm going to slaughter you before the foundation of the world. Because what I see in my plan, I already see it. That the light going to get detangled with the darkness. And they going to find their way home. So the lamb, slaughtered, come on down here. Go get them back home. I'm coming with you. Because you're going to fall too. You're going to die from their very hand. And I'm going to pick you up out of the tombstone where you're going to die. You're going to give up the ghost, but I'm going to raise you up. Y'all don't know who you're dealing with when you're dealing with my Father in the kingdom. People in darkness will come around and be so embedded in the message. But that's as far as they go. They wouldn't give a red cent unless they can sit at the table closer than Judas with Yeshua. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you all. There was a time where individual wanted to come here to visit. And I set up a little schedule to make sure everything go right. And I even invited in my home. And I look back over that because I think about what the Spirit was saying to me, and I wasn't paying attention to the Spirit. I wanted to just show individual a good time. And I wasn't paying no attention to the Spirit. And the Spirit began to tell me what I was investing in. And they came in and they weren't going to bless Sister Deborah as I had blessed them. The reason why I wasn't focusing on that, because I just wanted to offer my place for all that. What, it's about 7 days, y'all. Was it about 7? Probably, yeah, probably. I don't think it was longer than 7. To where if they were to went anywhere, they would have stayed in a hotel or whatever. So the father say, when you finish, you overdo things all the time. And when it all said and done, you're the one doing. They ain't gonna give you what they supposed to. They gonna give you what pleases and pleasure them. And in my mind, I wasn't looking for neither nor. I was the type of person, and all my sisters and my mother would tell you, well, I'm a person that likes to show a person a real good time. That's just me. But the father was showing me that these individuals were coming. And even though I was showing a good time and allowing them, that good time that I was showing was a good time that was righteous, because I was doing it out of the right heart. So that's when they had left, the father was telling me that what he had planned for them to do, he was leaving it to them to do what he had told them to do, but they didn't abide by it. But he had told me that they wouldn't. And I was just confused for a long time, because I was not confused in what y'all was saying, confused with why do I always allow myself to be taken because of the person that I am. No matter how bold I speak, how sharp my words are, only the father, and I can say my mother and them, they'll tell you. My mother, my sisters, my oldest sisters, I got 4 older sisters. No, 3. No, how many? Me. 4 older sisters and a younger brother. And no, I got a younger sister. Younger sister, me. I'm in the middle, y'all. I'm not the middle. I don't even call it the middle, but whatever. But I'm one of the young ones, but I ain't the oldest. Okay. So they would always say, we already know how you do things. That's how they say it. Because I always cross those T's and dot those I's. But the spirit was telling me about something regarding those that I had allowed to come. And after they left, I started to focus on what the spirit had said. And at that moment, he began to tell me their hearts. You see? Because I was focusing on what the spirit was saying after they left. Not so much as why they were here, because I was so busy showing them a good time. So I say unto you, fixing all type of fancy breakfast, just really trying to show a good time, a good, you come here. But that's where my problem is at. Because when Yeshua came, he had the 12 and he was showing all of the Father to all the 12. He didn't show the betrayer anything different. You get what I'm saying? Even though he was the betrayer, he did not show anything different. Would you say that's me all day? I believe that too. I believe that. I'm going to tell you why. I believe that I'm going to tell you why. I believe that by the Spirit. I believe that. I believe that by the Spirit. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times the Father will let you know what's what and what's in the midst. And a lot of times it's because your belief and your trust in people would draw you to believe that these people have the same spiritual heart as you do, spiritual mind. Don't take that and use that. And he gave me Judas. Now, the reason why I said, if you think about the betrayer and Yeshua, that's powerful. Y'all set that example for us, y'all. He set that example for us. So we would know what's in the midst of us and how it can portray to be for you. But spiritually, it's down here to be against you. You see? But when he gives you the spirit, he said, try the spirit by the spirit. That's it, y'all. Can't nobody tell you nothing no different. You got to do and be obedient to who? The spirit that lives in you. He started telling you who people are, and you started saying, "Ooh, no, I want to have a good time. Oh, no, they did. I'm doing this. Oh, they did." And he done already told you what's what. He even allowed you to see the action come forth. It's a dangerous game out here. And I began to say to the Father, because I began to be sad today when he was telling me this, and I began to be sad. And I thought about Yeshua having that betrayer, walking with him that whole time. Did y'all didn't pay no attention to that, did you? If you see the betrayer, he walked with him all that time. And all that time, he was a what? A dark seed. You see what I'm trying to get you to see? Even in your living, understand, I don't care who's around you. Watch him. Watch him both ways, spiritual and natural. Because in this day, the Father has given you the ability to use all tools that he has instilled in you. And I suggest that you use them. He ain't going to hold you hard. He ain't going to hurt you, or he ain't going to do nothing wrong with you, to you, because you're using all the tools he has given you. He wanted you to use them. That's what he given them to you for. He don't want you to keep, let me tell you why, mingling in a way with darkness to the point where you become what darkness is. Let me tell you why. He sent the Messiah, the lamb that was slaughtered for just that purpose, to separate he come for the lost. That's how he's coming, for the lost. The lamb that was slaughtered, the mission was for the lost, to bring them back home. That's beautiful. He's saying that's how it is today. Many are lost, trying to find their way to the light, to the narrow gate. And what keeps them? Because there's always darkness there in their way. They try to keep them from going where they're going to end up going anyway. How about that? Trying to keep them from being about what the light is about. You cannot think that we all just down here. And this is what dawned on me when I was washing dishes. I said, Father, how is it we can't work with each other down here? And there's a hate so thick, but you're going to take us when we can't work with each other down here. How are we going somewhere? How is it that if we can't work with each other down here on the earth, and we hating each other because we got one has a heart, and the other one has a different heart because it's a light. And if you are the light, then it's no reason to hate the light. You don't go around hating the light. But darkness, in Genesis 3:15, he created the darkness to hate the light. He didn't create the light to hate the light. That's why I speak so bold tonight. I speak so bold tonight regarding this. Because that's not who he's about. It's just, what kind of creator would do that? Actually tell us how he orchestrated from the kingdom by tools, but yet you go on down there and y'all work with each other till you get it right. How can we work together? How can we walk together? How can we talk together? How can we come in any type of unity when pride stands in the way? self-centered, self-motivated. How? It can't. So I'm in the washing dishes in the water, and I'm saying, Father, how is it then we gonna end up with each other in the kingdom? He said, it ain't gonna be that way. That's why he had everything written. Not because he's a forgetter or he's forgotten something. But look at them stupid ones that's still gonna be saying, I did this, or those stupid ones that's gonna be in the midst and don't have the right garment on, but yet standing in the wrong line. Oh yes, yes, because they didn't stood in the wrong line. They didn't stood on this page for so long in their wrong garment to where they believe they still the right one, and I'm the wrong one because they standing in the midst, still doing the same thing that they have done. Nothing changed. Could I wipe them out again? I am. I'm gonna wipe them out again. Until every time I'm gonna wipe them out, wipe them out, wipe them out to where they get the note, they get the sign, they get it. I told y'all I got 72 new subscribers. They got two, if it's y'all's will, 2 years, 3 years. You see? They just starting. You got people on here that's hard, it's harder today than it was the first day they got on here. And they quick to tell you, Yah led me to your page. How dare you use my father? When he led Judas to Yeshua, Hamashiach, Judah's mission was already in him to do wicked. You see? So if he used you to come here and you ain't showing nothing but just this same mindset, that hardened heart, that's self-centered, he ain't sent you nowhere. You sent yourself. And you sitting at the same table as Judas sat with the Messiah. I'm not the Messiah, but I tell you this. If Judas, the betrayer, was created to sit at the same table, Yah will let you sit at the table even though you don't belong. But what happened to Judah? What happened to him? You see? You can only sit so long. After a while, you need to go where you belong. I'm saying it. Yes, I'm saying it. I told y'all once a month, maybe once every 2 months, but I'm gonna bring that back up because this is the mindset of what we're dealing with. And it's not just on this YouTube. These people are like this. Not just on YouTube. They like this everywhere they go. Every way they go. And not only just where they at today, they've been like that. They've been like that. That's just who they are. And if they had any truth in them, they'll own that thing and say, that lady telling the truth. That lady telling the truth. I ain't lying. For what? What am I gaining? Nothing but to tell the truth on this page in spirit and in truth with the light resting in my right hand. I don't have no problem with that. So here he's telling his disciples. He's not downing the wolves or the serpent. He just told his disciples, y'all be just as smart. Why? Why do you got to be dumber than the serpent? Why? Look at verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore as wise as they are. Don't let them think they can come around you. He's telling them, be as wise as they are. And what's wrong with him saying that to them? This is how he was teaching them. Be wise as serpents. All you have to be is harmless as a dove. But be wise as they are because they think they so. You remember when Peter, Yeshua told him that Satan wanted to sniff him out? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? How was he going to do that? Amongst someone in the midst. Someone in the midst. To the point he got to know Peter and he wanted to sniff him out. See, I'm telling y'all, in your party, no matter what it is, there's going to always be one, two, maybe even three. On your workplace, where you worship, where you fellowship, your community, your neighborhood, your immediate family, your outside family, or whatever. You don't go treating them like they're your enemy. But he said, be as wise. Listen to, look, y'all. Look. I'm showing you where you're missing it. He said, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Why would you send sheep in the midst of wolves? Do you see what I'm saying? Because you have to be able to practice the wisdom that's in you, like they practice the wisdom that is in them. Because if you just getting out here being around them, you're going to become them. So he's saying to the sheep, to the 12 disciples, I'm putting you right in the midst of the wolves. And you be wise. Exercise your spiritual gift, wisdom. They're wise in the flesh, but you wise in the spirit. That means you are wiser. Because you will be in the midst of people. And you'll find yourself bowing down to them, fellowshipping with them, allowing them to speak even to you when they don't feel you worth anything. Oh, no. So why are you even wanting to come amongst the sheep? Because that's how they hide, y'all. That's how they live on, is hiding amongst the light. To portray to family members, to the community, to anything they're around, that they are somebody. Because there's some extra heart in them. There's many things in them, and they still can't figure it out. That's how dark people can be. Okay, so now I want you to go to the Gospel of John, chapter 14. The Gospel of John, chapter 14. The Gospel of John, chapter 14, and verse 2 through 6. I just want you to hear me here. Just hear this here. In the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 2 through 6, it says, in my Father's house are many mansions. Let me see if I got that right. 14, verse 2. Okay. If it were not so, I would not have told you. I go and prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will receive you again. I don't know if this is my, I don't remember reading this part. I will receive you again and receive unto myself, that where I am, there ye will be also. Verse 4, and whether I go, ye know, and ye know the way. No, this is not it. This is not my verse. How I get here, I don't know. The Gospel of John. Let me see what happened here. That's not my verse. And I'm sitting here. That's not my chapter, nor is that my um, verse. I don't remember reading that. Let me go back to where, because my topics were totally. Let me get that, and I might not be able to get. Let me go back to. Let me see here. I'm going to get that, you guys. 10 and 16. Mm-mm-mm. That was the Gospel of John. Okay, I can't believe it's here. Where is my? Oh my goodness. I'm looking for it and I don't see where did I get my verses from? Okay, let me tell you what. Let me go here. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, you guys. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna get it another route. Nope. What? Yes, it is. Come on. You're on the wrong page, Shelby. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, that's not a. You know what? I think it's the Gospel of John, chapter 15. That might be it. The Gospel of John, chapter 15. Let me see if that's it. Chapter 15. I think that might be it, you guys. I'm sorry. And verse 2. No, we're going to go to verse 3. No, that ain't it. That's not it either. Let me see something else. Let me see. Nope. I don't know where my oh, wait a minute. I remember it here. I don't even have my I don't even have my verse. Let's go to Matthew chapter 3 and verse 10. Let's just go here. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Let's go to Matthew chapter 3 and verse 10. In Matthew chapter 3 and verse 10, it says, and now also, I don't remember this either. The axe is laid. Now also, the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore, every tree that bringeth forth, no, this is it. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hemmed down and cast into the fire. See, y'all playing a game. He's already has warned us from the spirit of his teaching in us. Listen to what is saying in Matthew chapter 3, verse 10. Just listen to this. It's saying, and now also the axe is laid unto the root. Why to the root? Because that tree itself has to be brought down from the root. Listen to what it says in verse 10. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore, every tree which bring forth, which bring not, which bring not, which bring not forth good fruit is hemmed down and cast into the fire. What is going on? That's the facts of the kingdom, already knowing who's who and what's what. And when they think they getting away, he's sitting here letting you know. If there's none that bring forth good fruit, it is hemmed down and cast into the fire. So everybody is just thinking everybody is all good, everybody's all righteous, everybody really believe, everybody's all faithful, everybody is all fearful of Yah. No, they ain't. They can be around you for 50 years and hate you at the same time and be your enemy. So there's something in you that's greater than those individual on the outside of you. Why would he be so great in you and not warn you who's who and what's what? Do that make any sense? What would be the purpose of the Father wanting to even abide in you to let you abide in everybody else in the world? Does that make any sense? It doesn't. And this is what people hate more than anything. This is why they hate you. They're not around you because they the light. They care for you. They like your teaching. They like what you hear. You think, want me to tell you why? Why was the betrayal? Why would the Most High want us to know anything? Why would he allow them to even have that in instructions and direction book about a betrayer went all that way with Yeshua and only mission he had was to come to deceive, to betray the Messiah? Why would that be there for us, y'all? Make it make sense. Why is that there for us? It is a warning to us to help us to understand. But do we understand it? No. You know why? Let me tell you why we don't understand it. We don't want no part of the Creator if we have to measure the individuals in darkness. We want to be able to fellowship with them, to agree with them, to do the things that they do, the way they do it, the way they think, the way they feel. And as long as we are able to do that, we'll sit and say we serving a creator. That's how it is. That's why you got so many mega churches. You got so many churches, period, on every corner. And none of them speaking the truth. None of them even thought that everything that they have been teaching all this time was been a lie. They know it was a lie. But they figured if, you know what, if you want to hear a lie, we'll give you the lie. That's the same thing of those who come on in the midst of the light. Yah will suffer them to come. But he will suffer you to know what you got in the midst of you. See, that's what they didn't know. They figured this Ruach ain't about nothing. He ain't going to reveal nothing. He ain't going to tell nothing. No, he going to tell you. He going to let you allow it, but he going to tell you every step of the way what you in the midst of. He told Peter. I think that was Peter, yeah, when he told him that Satan wants to sniff you out. Come on, somebody need to preach that. That's a good sermon there. Because that'll show you. You thinking you trying to do what is right, and you're trying to form some sort of spiritual ground based on the one that's in you teaching you. And then you get on here and you start to believe, you start to do exactly identical with what you should not do. When you know that you got individuals have been on here for so long, taking up space, portraying. And then when you address it, they try to say something to counteract you, like you don't know. I'm gonna tell y'all something that has happened, and I'm going to go on and share it with you. And I'm gonna do it with a quicken because I don't want this individual to get any type of glory. I received an email. I'm gonna tell y'all something that's dangerous. I'm gonna show y'all how dangerous it is, and I'm gonna tell y'all this is how dangerous it is being on these devil platforms. The devil is so cunning, and this is another reason why I'm addressing that, y'all. People are so coming after the things you say, who you are. They don't know that fully they are the serpent seed. They come here for darkness. But they come among you. And it's so many people, thousands and thousands of people. People think if I can get all their information, I'm going to tell y'all, if you got a page on YouTube, be careful. Best bet for you, if you are not full of the Ruach and you don't know if you are sealed, be careful. Because these people are trying to find out your place you stay, your phone number, your first name, your last name. They would do anything to get your information because it caused them to feel empowered, powered. It does something for them. I got a email said, since you can read the minds and you can read from a distance, I'm from Ukraine. I left it right there, and I'm gonna leave that right here because the individual wanted me to do a video regarding them, and I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to leave that right there. But what I'm saying to you all, I sat back and I watched that. It is more important for people to get all your information than anything. It is so important to the point where I don't give a rat's behind. You better, while you getting all that information, you better get the information about that right hand of my Father. Because while you getting all of my information, you're going to find out about that right hand of the Creator information. How about that? So I'm just telling you, be careful. I don't know if any of you all have experienced it, but be careful, because just as I said 7 years ago, this is the devil platform. People are on here serving the devil 100. And this is what make people come to your page, because they fail to realize that if this is the devil platform, you ain't serving Yah. You don't have what it takes to even, how would I say it, be as one in any shape, form, or fashion. The heart is too hardened. Pride, ego, me, greed, self-centered. All of that is in you. But yet you come to this page. You're right where you're supposed to be. You're right where you're at. This is the devil platform. See, that's what y'all don't understand. So be careful having your own page and being out here talking, because they right now trying to get all your location, all your information, because it's just that easy. We only live once. Live or die. I believe that I have done a way more than enough speaking spirit and truth on my Father's will. It don't matter. But that's what people are doing, y'all. I know y'all don't know that, but that's the for real thing. So I call it out the way I feel it out. See, people thinking you full of crap when you tell them you know them. You feel them. They trying to get your information in the flesh, and they don't understand y'all already got your information in the spirit. He know your every move. That's why he shared it with me. That's why he allowing me to say, cut this mess out. If you about the serpent seed, get your tail over there where the serpent seed is about you. This is not your page over here. Serpent seed ain't got no business here. They ain't got no business even entertaining what I'm talking about, or portraying, or hearing, or responding. That's how they throw you off. At least they try to. So I don't know what happened to, I do not like the idea. So here in Matthew chapter 3 and verse 10, I'm going to read that one more time. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the tree. Therefore, every tree which bring forth not forth good fruit, Deborah, in my eyes, they are hemmed down already. See? Because you ain't bringing anything to the forefront. People thinking that y'all don't have no sense. Do y'all know that? He don't have no say so. Oh, he ain't nobody. It's no way I can speak the way I speak and it be of my flesh. Stand y'all clown tears down. It is impossible for me to speak the way that I speak, because no flesh on the earth can speak and teach. So therefore, she has to have the portion of the Spirit of God in her to be able to speak the way she speaks, the way she teach, the way she explain who the Father is. Same thing Yeshua did. He kept instilling in people who the Father is and how excellent and great and marvelous and powerful that he was. No one today would teach that. They give the glory to Yeshua. And Yeshua told us by giving the glory to the Father. And we got our stupid tails out here giving the glory to the Son of Man. But he taught us how to recognize the Father. He said, all these works and miracles and signs that I do, they are of my Father. That right there is telling you the Father power. But no, what we do? Oh no, the Son of Man, Jesus. We just got it all bent up and bent down, even though he did the excellent job of defeating everything Adam lost in the beginning. And we still can't pick up where Yeshua left off. Ain't that sad? We running around thinking we know everything. We can't even pick up where he left off. That's why we should have kept our footprints in his footprints, so we can learn the Father like he knew the Father. Because he definitely glorified it and edified it. He even said, all that thou hast given me. Woo! You see what I'm saying? I have not lost one. So who is this giving you this if you are the Father? You get the point, child. He always turned us. A woman said, can I sit on the left of my sons? If they get into the kingdom, can one sit on the left and one sit on the right? He said, ma'am, that's not giving it to me. That's the giving unto my Father in heaven. He always connected you back to the Father. These people on these platforms ain't connecting you to the Father, and they ain't connecting you to the Son, because they have to be connected in the Spirit with the Ruach HaKodesh. And that's a place they're not connected at all. They are not connected there at all. So Sister Deborah say, let me see where I am not. I'm missing something, and I feel I'm missing something. Let me see about this right here. I was talking the Gospel of John and what he was saying about no, I didn't even want to bring that one up again, so I'm gonna leave that one off. One of the pages, one of them was Matthew's again, 25 and verse 40. I ain't even gonna go there because that's talking to the enemy as well, letting them know you ain't the one getting up in the kingdom thinking that you all that. What did I tell y'all? Do y'all know the people who's the goats that's going to the lake of fire? They gonna question the fact that when we do that, as if the kingdom didn't have them wrote in and wrote out. I keep telling y'all, I don't care how you clown on this earth. The Father got your name wrote in and he got it wrote out. Sister Deborah, you and nobody else on this earth. And this is what I have been instilling, even to strangers, even to my children. Nobody's perfect. You can always go back within yourself. Forgive yourself for all the things you've done wrong. Because there's no way you can repent until you forgive yourself. Because if you repent and you waiting for y'all to forgive you, but first you got to forgive yourself. Because if he forgive you, then you're still blaming yourself. You know how many people are living with their past history? Right here Today, people are depressed because of their past history. They are stressed because of their past history. And this is the key for each and every last one of you all to apply it to others. Forgive yourself. Because what you're holding against yourself, every human being must hold against themselves, because it's the same level of sin in the eyes of Yah, the same level of iniquity, the same level. That's why David broke that thing in and he broke it out, saying to us, he confronted the Father face to his face. That's what he said. So we have to learn to forgive us ourselves. And when we forgive ourselves, then we should ask Yah to forgive us. Repent to him. But if you repent to him, the repentance is a form of remorse and turn. You can't repent if you don't turn from that way. And what keeps a person from turning, y'all? They haven't forgiven themselves. The same measure of sin that you hold, I hold. The same measure of sin that I hold, you hold, in the eyes of a creator. Yah is not looking at us based on the measure of sin and iniquity we hold. He looking at what he holds in us. Hello. He's looking at what he holds in us. And that's in our spirit. We sit here and we play more games, not on Sister Deborah, but the Father himself. They think, hey, I can get away with it. I can pull this over her head. I can just pretend I don't know. And the saddest thing is to give. They pretend they cannot. And the Father said, that's a lie from the pit of hell, because I know what I gave them. That's what gets me. That gets me every time the Father tell me that. It's just a sad thing, but Yah let people know who they are before I even know who they are. This is who they always been. This is that hardened heart that's not going to tell the truth of the whole matter of who they are. They're going to ride it up and they're going to ride it down, just as Judas did, side by side. Until what? His mission on earth was completed. That's a sad thing, y'all. His whole purpose was to come to deceive the Messiah that y'all sent down to wipe away sin. You tell me if that ain't crazy, y'all crazy. That's deep. His whole mission was to do that. And then when the disciple, I think it was Peter, asking Yeshua, well, what was that Judas had done? You know what Yeshua told him? Ain't none of your business. It just would have been better had not he even been born. Meaning he wouldn't have had to be where he going to live eternal had he not been born. So that's why I'm trying to tell y'all. When people are down here on the earth portraying the ways that they really thinking they hurting the ones, the servants of the Most High. Y'all know they ain't. I had to do a Skype in Texas. It was a Skype. My son was on the Skype. And all of my children over to my house when I was staying south. And the whole idea, I wanted to let them know, you can dog me out as a mother, but the Most High ain't going to let you dog me out as his servant. That's deep. Why? Because the mother is the flesh. But the purpose that y'all sent me down here is the spirit. Big difference. You can dog yourself out in the flesh. You can dog anybody out in the flesh. But where you doom is when you dog out the servants of the Most High Yah that come down here to do the spiritual mission. And I gave them that. I spoke it to them, y'all. And it didn't take no more, not even an hour. I think it was like 45 minutes. So I let them know. Dog me out as a mother. if that's what you choose to do. Don't think the consequences ain't there. It is. But it's who I am in the Father that he ain't going to let you get by with. And that's what people get lost at because they don't understand. You are flesh like they are. But if they are feeding you spirit and truth and the light, and you trust that they're giving you something outside of what your flesh, it's no way you should walk into something and walk out with something and not give some sort of token. People like that has the hardest heart. They have no idea their heart is so loaded with evil because it's so powerful. And it's not so much as because they didn't give to Sister Deborah. It's what even their study guide and what the Father has shared with me. How he breaks the study guide down. I'm looking at Yeshua on this end, and I'm looking at Yeshua on this end, and he's actually telling the whole world. When you get to the kingdom, on the right, I'm going to have the sheep. On the left, I'm going to have the goats. He said, Deborah, I'm going to measure them by the same thing, the will of the Father. What do you mean? Deborah, I'm going to measure them out of who the Father is. Give and gave. Everything they're going to be measured by. The goat's going to be measured by. And the sheep's going to be measured by. The sheep's on the right and the goat's on the left. The goat's going to the lake of fire and the sheep going to eternal heaven. But they be in both, Deborah. Look how just Yah is. Look how just he is. He didn't come down to give the serpent seed anything different that he didn't give the spiritual seed. We all came down here. All of us leveled the same. When it came down to him giving and gave, he gave the serpent seed his breath and a spirit. He gave the spiritual seed his breath and a spirit. But one thing the serpent seed didn't get is the Ruach HaKodesh. The one that leads you back to eternal. And what else did he give? The same sin that you see in the serpent seed, you're going to see in the spiritual seed. Just the spiritual seed, because they have the Ruach, they're going to be held blameless for their sin. See how just he is? If you can't see how just the Father is, you sick anyway. But the measurement in the judgment is that I gave you serpent seed and I gave you spiritual seed. And I was expecting you to give back to me. That's all he was saying. If I'm giving, gave, I expect you to be like unto me. If I give you my servant to teach you food for your spirit, and you stand there with a high and mighty pride at a level higher than the sky, ego and self-centered greed, me, I ain't doing nothing, you're right. You up out of here. I said many words, and I'm hoping all of it fits your size shoe. Because when it all said and done, I'm sitting here looking at this here, and I'm just like saying, but Father, I never heard it preached in no church. And I've been in many churches. I've heard priests. I heard bishops. I heard apostles. I heard prophets. I heard prophetess. I heard evangelists, Maureen's, pastors. But no one ever taught it. But Father, in their study guide, it gives them a great view to consider what could be in them teaching in the fullness of the view. It said there's two sets of people that the Son of Man going to divide. As if all of them was up to him to divide. He's going to put the goats on one side, so assured. And he's going to put the sheep on another side, so assured. But one thing he's sure about, they both was measured based on what they give and gave. That's sad. And when he told those on the sheep, as the sheep, they said, when did we do this? He said, when you did it unto the least of these that what? On the right side, you have done it unto me. Then the goats said, when did we not do it? He said, when you did not do it to the least of these, which is the righteous one, you have not done it unto me. See, people don't know their actions on the earth is matching the eternal spirit. Oh, Father God, they don't know nothing about that. And it's okay. Because they've been playing the game in the flesh. You come down here to work the flesh. That's why your heart is hardened. See, a lot of people don't know that. They don't know nothing about that. They think you crazy because you're saying something. I'm in that day. I'm speaking and teaching that day. I cannot give you no other day but the day he allowed me to live in. I have to hear from the Ruach what to say and how to say it, when to say it, and if it's okay to say it. You see? So therefore, when I'm saying stuff, I'm not saying it out of Sister Deborah, the flesh that's sin. I'm saying it out of the spirit that's in me, who's greater than anything on the outside of me. Hello. That's the level of what I'm speaking from. And every word I say will be like a sharp edge that's going to pierce you, hurt you, move your feelings, and feel any other way that you want. But guess what? What's in you is not going to move because your heart been that hardened for long. Your heart has been that hardened that long. It ain't got nothing to do with Sister Deborah. Really, it really don't. You see, a lot of y'all might think that, okay, when she's saying something and she's saying what I'm not doing here. No, baby. It's not what you're doing here. It's just who you are. Period. Even before this page that I have been here. The Father wants you to know you've been that way. That's how you thought you had gotten away with being in the midst of the light, in the midst of spirit and truth, and hiding to portray a role like Judas did. Until that y'all say, okay, it's time. And when it was time, the moment he betrayed, it was like instantly, he went and threw all the wealth back to the priest and went and took his life. You see? Look how deep that is, y'all. And see, you see how y'all sitting here looking at me? Listen to what I'm saying. Look how he felt after he did it. All of a sudden, it's like a light turned on. Remorse, sorrowful. But that's who he was. He come down here like that. So when Sister Deborah's on here talking about people who've been on here so long, they still refuse to even send a token, to even at least show appreciation. And been on here for so long, I mean for years, and still sit back in the back seat like, so what? I don't have to do anything. I'm going to stay where I'm at. Okay, you stay where you at. I'm going to chew your tail inside out until you out of here. See, that's that hardened heart I'll be talking about. That's that pride, that ego. And a lot of people will be content with it. Oh, I don't see nothing wrong with it. But we shouldn't do. You shouldn't do what you do. Get your own page and start from there and see how you rumble. All you have to do, and that's a story I had to break down, and I did break it down to my daughter today. My oldest daughter called me and went on to telling me about her ex-husband and what took place and so on and so on and so on. And I had such a calm, low mindset at that moment. I just wanted to hear everything she was saying. And I just listening to her telling me about that first marriage and the lady that interfered with their marriage and got pregnant by her husband while she was married to him. This is what my daughter went through. And she was just telling me all kind of, and I gave her a good 35 minutes. And then I said to her, I said, you said it wonderful. I said, I wish I had a recorder or another phone to have videoed all the things you said. You said an excellent thing. Everything you said could really help other young women. Everything you said that could have helped every young woman. And this is what I said. Her marriage was 8 years. He turned around and married another lady and had four babies, like one, two, three, four. Four babies, and she already had a son. She was messing with him, got pregnant while he was married to my daughter. So he had all those babies, and the same 8 years she had in marriage is 8 years later, this lady had four babies by him, and now she's divorcing him. You see? She's telling me about how a man is, and that you go into a relationship, just listening to her, and you put your best foot forward. I let her say what she wanted to say, but when it was all said and done, I went in. I went in. I said, now all this that you said about the lady's 8 year and how she probably was going through what you had went through, that's 16 years. Talk to me, 34 years. Y'all talking about my whole life right before you. Both two females went through what I went through. You see? And look, the difference between the two of them is I still is there to help my ex-husband if he's sick, if he needs something, if he need me to do something, I'm there. Them, they gone both the ways, you see. But I'm showing her that while you're saying y'all, both of y'all, 8 years and 8 years, can't even override Sister Deborah's experience. I said, but you would accept yours and you would accept hers. But when I try to tell you that, for 34 years, I've been telling you that, you wouldn't accept mine. But see how y'all would allow you to repeat something when you come up on his and you think that yours, in a sense, like Miss Alma used to tell me, people think booby, they used to call me booby, they think they mess don't stink. That's what she used to tell me when I was a teenager. And I still remember that because people don't. My experience was way beyond theirs. The lady had her 8 years. My daughter had her 8 years. That's 16 years. What about my 34? I can tell somebody something. And my daughter got quiet, and I broke that thing so deep. She was so quiet. She was lost for words because I made sure I had just came out the gym over here where I stayed working out. And I had just came out. And I sat in the car, and also my daughter called me, and I sat there and I listened to her. Then I kept saying to myself as she was talking, it's sad. It's sad. Now, see, everybody can go through it, and you can feel them. You can feel yourself. But when I said and you sat and lived with me and saw me go through exactly what you repeated, exactly what you said his other girlfriend ended up being his wife repeated. Now, here it is. I still went through it longer than you all, and I told you ahead of time. You see? And this is what I told her. But by the Ruach in me, that Holy Spirit, that's why I can deal with it deeper, different. I can see it different than you all can. I can feel it different. You see? But just imagine. My daughter, I think she's 36. But I'm just saying, just imagine all of these years, she always, not always, she never saw it when it was happening to me. So I broke it down to a year after year after year. It still didn't matter. But when she gone through it, then okay, now I get it. Now his other wife going through it. Oh, now she's went through it. If she went through what I went through, then I can see. I said, but what about me? She got quiet. I said, you don't see how both of you, 16 years, how do it match? She said, yeah, it's the same thing. Own that thing. Ain't nobody gonna do that. Truth is something that nobody will own. I don't care who they are in your family. Your mama, your daddy, your grandpa, your grandmother. People will not own up to the truth. Why? Because the truth plays a role in who the creator is. And no one is not going to own up to any truth. They will believe the lie. They will live on the lie. They will not only live on the lie, they are willing to die with the lie. You know how many people then left off this earth dying and had a chance to bring light to what they knew was wrong and still didn't? That's how heavy truth is. And that's why I say truth don't need you. It don't need me. All it needs is what it got, righteous. And this is why the world came up with this, your truth and my truth, peace, your peace and my peace, energy and vibes, all that witchcraft that makes them think different in their mindset to give the comfort of their flesh what it needs. That's what they're doing. They give the comfort of their flesh exactly what it needs when they talk like that, when they believe stuff like that. And I sat there and I'm going to tell y'all something. I thank the Father for that 40 minutes. I just gave it to my daughter because it was so professional. It was so in the light the way I told her and how I made it match this girl and match my daughter and still come out with victory in the 34 years. That's what I tell her. And she didn't have no words. I said, but I've been telling you that all these years. Oh, no. Because those that come down here, I don't care if they're your daughter and your son. I don't care if it's your grandbaby. I don't care if your daughter-in-law. I don't care if it's your son-in-law. I don't care if it's your husband. I don't care if it's your wife. Y'all sick if you don't know. Heaven's got everybody wrote in and wrote out who they are. It don't make you it don't make me hate my children. It don't make me, because he bring the division and he bring the sword and he bring he didn't bring peace. That don't mean I go hating them. That don't mean I go hating my wife. That don't mean I go hating my husband. That don't mean I go hating my mother. That don't mean I go hating my father. What it does is give me the light to run this journey. I got the light to understand it. I got the light to feel it and get up and keep running with the Father. I got something to work with. Do you know how many people ain't got nothing? I can actually stand on top of a mountain and claim that I got something. 99.9 can't do that. I had to tell her and sum that conversation off with all this time. It was the spirit of the Most High Yah in me that allowed me to long suffer, allow me to endure, allow me to have the patience that I have now, in spite of what I went through. But that's why Sister Deborah can tell you, I can tell you something. You might not think so. Oh, yeah, I can tell you something. As a matter of fact, I can tell a lot of men something. More than they ever heard. And I can tell them something that'll set them freer than free. But that type of free, they don't want. Because people want to live and die the lie. They want to be comfort in where they are comfortable. And that's only in the flesh. So anybody have any questions? I'm sorry I didn't get to my other verse. And that was, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 verses. But I lost it. It was supposed to be in John 14, but it wasn't. So Sister Deborah, I appreciate each and every last one of you in the live. And I hope you got something out of it. But even if you didn't, that's still all well. Anytime y'all have given us another blessed day, we better take advantage of it and glorify him and edify him in all that he has instilled in us. We need to understand we have to give him. And no, let me not say that. We don't have to, but we should, because he's so greater in us. We should want to glorify him. We should want to represent him. And I sit back, y'all, and I think about this whole world and all that this spirit keeps showing me that the world don't know nothing about. How dare you feel that you are better than anything that's being spoken to you to the point where you feel you exempt from being a part of this page. You just can't come in and out and in and out and think that I've been here all this time and yet I have shown nothing. Or when I did, it was because I wanted to be at the table. And after I didn't see the table the way I felt I need to be sitting, I never did it. A year, 2 years. But you know what? That's all well. Just go somewhere else and sit at a table. Maybe they got a seat for you. Go sit at that table. Because it's sad that one keep coming in and out, thinking that it's going to be overlooked. No, it ain't. I told y'all, I'm going to pull that bad boy up every month or maybe every 2 months. I'm going to pull that same thing up. It ain't going nowhere. Because people are getting too comfortable. It's no way all this chaos is going on in the world, and I don't want a place where I can sit and rest in the spirit messages of the Most High God. And if you got another place for it, get to it. Be that spiritual one, since you think you got it. You think you got everything else. So I tell you what, go there where you think you can get it. Since you say that y'all brought you here and led you here, go where he has led you, so that your flesh can get the peace that it needs. And stay off of this channel. I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed, because I had to check with the Father before I had to come to you on this devil platform. And I give him all glory and all praise, because he told y'all that in the end days, the bold ones, meaning his servants that are bold, how can they speak spirit and truth? Yeshua said the time is now, because he was speaking spirit and truth. And he said, and the time shall come when the true worshipers shall worship in spirit and truth. Do you think people believe that? Mm-mm. They don't believe it. They don't give a rat's behind. They don't care. They don't care. Because they think they mess don't stink. They think that they are exempt. That's how the whole world is. That's how those that's going through the broad gate feel. Oh, I don't have to buy by that. I don't have to give nothing. I don't have to do nothing. Why do y'all think people give so much to those pastors and those people, those mega churches, those people that got, you know why they give them that? Because they comfortable in their flesh. They give them the proper that comfortable feeling in their flesh that they worship in the spirit realm. They give them that comfort. And if they can get it from a man standing up there that's wealthy, and they study paying tithes every pay period, giving offering, for somebody to give them the lie, you would have to be sick to think Yah will lead you to Sister Deborah for you to be sitting up claiming Yah led you and he told you not to support the woman of Yah that's spilling out spirit and truth. Let me tell you how that makes me feel. It makes me feel you're really disrespecting the Most High Yah. Let me tell you why. A lot of things that I'm saying, I'm getting from him. I will not give myself that type of glory and that type of honor. I will not, and I shall not. I know that I'm getting it from the Most High Yah. I am the servant of the Most High Yah. He even tell you if you're not producing anything, the axe is at the root. Why? Because I know that I put Judas in the midst of Messiah, as I know that the axe has to cut down those who ain't doing nothing. We can't get nowhere with our works. You know why? Because he don't want people to think it's like you on a job. You see what I'm saying? He don't want us to feel like we're on a job, matching the world a job. He don't want us to feel it like that. He want us to care enough about him to where we can discern the difference from the work in the natural from the work of the spirit that he sends to feed us. The work of the natural feed us in the flesh, and the work of the spirit feeds us in the spirit. So there's a big difference. He's not saying that you're going to make my servants rich. He already know he ain't sent not one servant down here to be rich, to be wealthy, to be comfortable. No, you know why we can't be comfortable? We got too much we're going through to keep us rooted. We going through a whole bunch of things that you all would never see and go through. You would never go through it. But his servant must go through these things to stay in line with him. And it ain't that we going through it alone. He's with us. Y'all ain't got nothing to do with your money. He already, we just want to treat the creator like he's stupid and you so smart. Money don't make you have a relationship with the Most High Yah. But the Most High Yah know money is who you are. That's your God. And only way he knows that your money is not your God is when you trust in him being your God. And you don't put all that emphasis on your money to where you don't have no problem giving because you know who your real Yah is. You see what I'm saying? See, y'all playing on the dumb end and you're thinking you're being smart. That's why I call you cunning. I don't care where you at. Now, let me give you this before I get off of here. Somebody sent me an email saying something to me, calling my name by my name, telling me they in Ukraine. Now, if somebody is actually there, look at the evil from that level to where I'm at. That's willing to say something to let me know they got my information. You gonna tell me that ain't darkness? But yet you come here day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, pride-minded, ego, self-centered, and greedy, as if y'all do not know what he allow you to have so you can be as greedy as you are today. Because you're not greedy towards Sister Deborah. You greedy because that's your heart. And you'll find every just reason to say to the Father, I ain't giving her a red cent because I don't have to. You're right. Satan don't have to give Yah not a time of day. Now, if a person from Ukraine can touch in on me, and y'all let him do it, you really believe Yah wouldn't let you be in the midst and be darkness right in the midst of us. And I'm going to tell y'all another thing. There are at least 5 people that has been on my live chat that got the ability to really help many of you all out there come to the Father in a way to help you even in your weakness, in your test, in your trial, even in your study. And you all ain't even paid no attention to them. Because Yah is setting up his own territory. And you not allowed in it. So boot your tail up out of here. Like ASAP. So our Sister Deborah say, I hope you got something out of it. But even if you didn't, I know that I did. Shalom and shalom.